city of Springfield has heard all they need to hear about the budget, or have they? Good morning, Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. It is budget season, and states, capitals, cities, all getting their budgets together for the fiscal years that are approaching. Of course, in the State House, you've got the budget that begins July 1st. That's the budget year, and the state lawmakers coming back today. They'll hear about the governor's budget proposal next week, and then they'll start piecing all those things together. But the city of Springfield's budget year actually begins much earlier than that. In just a handful of weeks here, the city's budget year begins, and City Budget Director Bill McCarty has presented the budget in various aspects, different departments, from police and fire to CWLP, the city's publicly owned utility, presenting their budget requests. Well, somebody who's going to be one of the 10 to make the decision as to whether to proceed with the proposed budget or to make some amendments is Ward 1 Alderman Chuck Redpath. He joins us now here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Alderman, thanks for taking time with us this morning. So let's get right into it.
Greg. Glad to do it.
Absolutely. So you've been a city official in a different life, and now you're back at it again for a term this year. Looking forward to the budget. What are some of the big things you see?
Well, budgets are made up of a lot of different ways. They're made up of plans and dreams and exaggeration. So we'll cut through all that stuff and we'll figure out how we're going to do it. But we're very fortunate to have a little extra money this year, so we're going to try to do some things that we probably can only do one time, and that's some of the things that are on the agenda. The proposal that was sent to us was not bad, but there's a lot of areas that we're going to probably adjust. You'll probably see anywhere from 20 to 30 amendments that'll come forward from the aldermen. My emphasis always has been on the utility, the lake area. Of course, that's where my current ward is, and then mostly police department. I'm going to make some adjustments to their budget and see if the city council wants to go along with it.
So what are some of the things you're looking to do, at least for the police department? Are you looking to increase the budget, looking at specific items to decrease, or what are some of the things you're looking to do?
Well, I'm looking to increase. Unfortunately, Springfield Police Department's salary structure is a lot lower than cities our size. When you get into a situation where your starting pay is $8,000 to $10,000 less than your current competitor, which I mean cities of our size in Central Illinois, you run into situations that people who are filing to be police officers are going to go where they're going to get a little bit more money. I think it's important that we raise the salaries for our police department to try to make it compatible in that market. When you don't get the best, you're going to get less than the best. And I'm not saying that our candidates are not accomplished and able to do the job, but we want to go and get the best we can possibly get. In this day and age of scrutiny over police departments on how they conduct themselves and what kind of character they have, we want to make sure that we are getting the best of the best.
We're talking with Springfield Alderman Chuck Redpath, of course, the city budget director, and all the departments presenting their budget over the past, 2 weeks or so. They finished all their presentations. You guys have all the info. You're going to be looking at possibly up to 20 or so different amendments to the budget. What about the COVID relief dollars? Every week we hear the treasurer lay out how much is still on the table, and it's $20+ million. Is that part of this process, or is that money already basically spoken for?
No, that money is not completely spoken for, although there are programs in the budget that want to use some of that money for certain items. And I don't know that I'm opposed to those proposals, but more important than anything for me and for maybe the city of Springfield is our water source. And I'm talking about Lake Springfield. And, this is our drinking water that we drink. And we've had a serious problem with the septic systems around the lake leaking into the lake, and which could be dangerous to our drinking water. And I am going to propose to put money into the budget to keep that project going to transfer the septic systems over to the sewer system, which is what we started last year. But we were told that it may not have the money to do it this year. So I'm going to make a proposal that we do that. We can't afford to take our water source for granted, and we got to make sure that it's safe for our citizens to drink.
Talking with Springfield Alderman Chuck Redpath here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. One issue that seems to come up year after year after year is pensions, and police and fire pensions in particular. I know that the budget director for years has been talking about how the share of property taxes that the city collects seems to be, if not entirely, eaten up by pension costs. How are you guys going to best get a hold of that issue?
Well, that's an issue that we should have took a hold of 20 years ago, but it didn't happen. And we can't keep kicking the can down the road. We have increased our pension payments over the last few years to make a substantial more donations to that fund, which is what we should do. But, we've been trying to get the legislature to change the ramping up process on when we have to hit our goal, which is, I think it's in 40 or 45, which would we can't make. We won't make it at the rate we're going. That pension fund is $270 million in the hole, and it's rose substantially. But we're going to address that, and we're going to try to figure out different ways to get to that goal. But, that's not the big elephant in the room. Even though that fund is 270 million plus, we have a $300 million problem with our sewer system in the city as a whole. I work with the sanitary district, talked to Greg Humphreys and other people out there about what it would take to get that thing rolling, and we're not addressing that either. So we need to come up with a plan on how to get that sewer system going to make sure that the citizens throughout the city, not just my ward, but the citizens throughout the city have a reliable septic sewer system that we can count on.
Well, and you've also got the separate fund of CWLP and the possibility that in some years ahead you're going to have to turn off the coal-fired power plant. So it'd be interesting to see how that impacts not just this budget but other budgets moving forward. Springfield Alderman Chuck Redpath, one last thing, not necessarily with the budget. What is going on with e-foils, these electric surfboards? Full disclosure, I've ridden one of them on Lake Springfield. It was pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie, but you're looking to possibly restrict that and other vehicles. What's going on there?
Well, we are working on a safety plan for Lake Springfield, and I've been meeting with constituents and the council of clubs out the lake and utility people on things that we need to work on. E-foil is one of them. They have done the research to find out that it's not a very safe vehicle for Lake Springfield. So we're gonna have that debate here pretty soon, and we'll find out where it goes. But I don't think that it's going to probably go in Lake Springfield this year. But we're also working on boat motor sizes and things like that. So we got a whole gambit of things that we're working on to improve the safety on Lake Springfield, and those are just a couple of them.
And then what about the beach house? It seems to have made its way into the mayoral debate. What's the plan there?
Well, we've been trying to market the beach house for years, and we've had people come forward to want to do something with the beach house, and we really should, because it's just sitting there, and we have to pay maintenance on it every year to take care of it. But that's an issue that we all really need to sit down and figure out what we're going to do. We've had proposals to come in and make a restaurant out of it or something like that, which would be great. But it's a substantial increase. It's going to be a substantial cost to convert that into anything, and it's a high-end thing for whoever takes it over. But that is an issue that we will deal with. We've taken down the seawall there, so boats can access that from the lake. Hopefully that's all done this year, but we've taken down probably 3/4 of it, if not all of it yet.
Well, we'll watch that closely. Alderman Chuck Redpath, greatly appreciate you taking the time with us as always. It's been too long. We'll talk again in the near future, all right?
Oh, I appreciate it, my friend. Take care.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and